stage. Today ain't no second guessing. I just forget the lessons I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I couldn't know. Wouldn't get me from one I had today.
All right, good morning. You are tuned into 1100 WSGI, and this is Lee Marie with One Street Over, filling in for U-Turn Laverne, and she will be back in tomorrow, Wednesday. Also, I will be here to Wednesday because, as you know, I do the Go Show every Wednesday from 8 to 9, and that is your source for information, inspiration, and always a few dates to add to your calendar. So I hope tomorrow you will stay tuned at 8 o'clock for the Go Show. Anyways, today we have two guests coming in who, they're not first-time guests, but they have not been on for a while. However, let's go to the Lord in prayer to start. Heavenly Father, thank you so much. You are so amazing. Please take these shows where you want them to go. We pray that we put you first today in all that we say and all that we do. We love you. We praise you in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen. All right. Mr. Rastelli.
Hello there.
Hello. So make sure you get nice and close to that microphone.
Okay.
So I wanted to have Gary Rastelli on because he recently just came back from London, Kentucky,
Right.
tornado disaster relief.
Right.
And so I didn't get a chance to even talk to you. I got to follow your photos on Facebook, but I haven't got a chance to talk with you yet. And I know that other people might be interested in doing some of that volunteering too. By the way, guys, if you have any questions at all during the show, please go ahead and put them up in our comment section. You can do that on Facebook, real easy by going to the WSGI Facebook page. And then also please share this show so that it gets out there, guys. All right. So, how long did you go? Tell us about London, Kentucky.
Okay, so London, Kentucky was hit with an EF4, which is 170 miles an hour winds.
170.
Right.
That's crazy.
And the destructive path was like really contained. I mean, there was a house, on one side of the street where a couple people were killed. And then we were cleaning up, like kind of in the middle, and you can tell that was right where the eye of the storm passed by because pine trees were bent one way, and the debris field came from across the street in the opposite direction.
Oh wow!
So the counterclockwise rotation of the tornado, said that was right at the epicenter.
Wow.
So, and then, 200 yards away from that, houses were not even touched.
Wow.
So it was something. That was the most trees that I've ever seen in one area that were down.
Really?
I was there just for 4 days, and I spent all 4 days just at that one site, just cutting up trees, getting them ready for the skid steer to be, grab them and bring them out to the street.
Now, you said there was the most trees that you've seen down, and I know you've done several. Like, about how many tornado or, disaster reliefs like this have you done?
Probably about 15 to
wow.
18 or so.
Wow.
And that's over a period of 9 years.
Okay. And has this all been through Samaritan's Purse or just also through churches or?
Yes. Yeah. Through Samaritan's Purse.
Through Samaritan's
It started out in 2016 in East Baton Rouge Parish, Louisiana. And, prior to that, I had gone to, just with our church, we had stuffed the shoe boxes for Samaritan's Purse, Operation Christmas Child. And I didn't even know that they had done anything like this. But it's amazing what they do all around the world.
So they do this, at the same time they've got crews out all over?
Right.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. And, they do water purification, earthquake relief, even in war zones around the world. They were used by the Lord to discover the cure for Ebola. It was through a Kentucky tobacco leaf found up in Kentucky, and there was a movie made about it with Franklin Graham, because one of the doctors that volunteered with Samaritan's Purse contracted it, and he was praying about what to do, and then they ended up coming up with that cure. Wow. They made a movie. A buddy of mine, Brian Murray, was one of the cinematographers that produced that movie. It's called or Facing the Darkness, I think.
Facing the Dark. Okay. Wow. Very interesting. So then you've been doing Samaritan's Purse for like 9 years. Is that about
right?
Okay. All right. And I know that, and I was just trying to look, as I know that there is a class coming up too on getting certified to be one of those. And I was trying to find that real quick, but maybe I'll find that as I.
Yeah, that's probably through the Southern Baptist Convention.
Okay. Yes, you're right. It is. Okay.
Yep.
And it's open to everybody. And here we go. I'm going to read this real quick. Sure. Introduction to Disaster Relief, Chainsaw Operation and Safety and Mass Feeding. And it's going to be at the Cedar Hill Baptist Church, which is at 112 South Main Street in Cedar Hill. And so it says to register by Monday, June 23rd, so that they can have enough training materials. And so that is going to be a Saturday. And so the information, if you want the phone number, you call 615-533-9891. Again, that's 615-533-9891. And I guess they have different classes because it says with your name and classes desired. So I guess they have Introduction to Disaster Relief, which is a 2-hour class. Then they have a Chainsaw Operation and Safety, which is a 2-hour class. And then Mass Feeding is a 3-hour class. And it looks like the credentialing fee is $40, which for that you get the ID, the hat, background check, and membership pin, and also cost of any of the basic training courses over the next 3 years. So that sounds like a pretty good deal. Wow. Okay. So anyways, but now if people want to get more involved with Samaritan's Purse, how do you suggest that they do that?
I would just suggest by starting out by going to spvol.com. That's Samaritan's Purse Volunteer.com. And you can get started right away. There's no previous training necessary. You can volunteer if it's just for one day, if you'd like, or if you'd like to volunteer, as an overnight worker. What happens is, say a tornado comes through Springfield, Tennessee. What they would do is search for one of the larger churches that's in the area, and then they would ask them to be a host church. They would bring their tractor trailer. It's called a DR, Disaster Relief. They have, I believe, 9 of them now.
Wow.
They go around the country. So they set up with that. They bring in a kitchen trailer, 1 or 2 shower trailers, housing trailer for some of the team leads to stay overnight, and many people bring their mobile homes, as team leads, and then like the London, Kentucky deployment, there was so many other volunteer teams. I didn't even know that Amazon had volunteers going out.
I didn't know that either.
And there's rapid response. There's just in the Southern Baptists and stuff. I didn't see them when we were up there last week, but so many others had done it that the deployment only lasted, I believe, like 2 weeks.
Oh.
So,
wow.
Yeah, they got...
You guys got it done.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. And so if you go with Samaritan's Purse and you go for like a week, do they have a place to house you, or?
Yeah, what happens is you'll go through just an application online. They do a background check if if you do want to be an overnight, so you'd bring your sleeping bag, your air mattress, and all. But they provide the place for you to sleep, shower when you get done at the end of the day. The day starts at 6 o'clock. You get up, you pack your lunch. Um, that's all provided, and then they have a really nice breakfast.
Oh, okay.
And
So they
then,
feed you and stuff.
Yep, and then they open up in prayer, and then for the first day, you go through an orientation video. It's about 20 minutes or so, and then you get assigned to a team lead. Um, and then you go out. It's typically about an 8 hour. You're done around 4. Head back to the host church to take a shower and then get ready. They have a really good dinner at 6 o'clock, and then quiet time and lights out at 10 o'clock. There, the men sleep in a separate area from the women, and it's really well organized and stuff. People say, "Well, I can't run a chainsaw, or I can't, climb up on a roof to the tarp." If you can do anything, hand out T-shirts or help with the cooking. There's just so many roles that anybody can do something.
Wow. All right. So it seems like every time there's something like that, you're there.
Oh yeah. I like to do at least two a year. I did a little bit unofficially when the tornado did come through here in Springfield. And went by Holman's Jewelers and Kroger. So I went around and I found somebody with an excavator that was just kind of little mini excavator that was kind of volunteering, on his own time. So I went over there for, a few hours. But then I did go to Clarksville for one day,
okay.
with Samaritans.
All right. Well, I know that I think that might have been the same winds. I'm not sure, but I know you came over and helped our neighborhood too. And, we weren't even that close, but we do appreciate you coming out and just going crazy with that chainsaw for hours and hours.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for all that you have, do in the community. Definitely appreciate that. And your wife as well. Shout out to Rhonda. We're going to have Rhonda on soon.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Since she's got a new venture.
Yeah, she's gone back to school and became a psychiatric nurse practitioner, and she's starting her own practice, doing mainly telehealth visits with it's mind renewal, mental health, and you can check that out online, I believe.
Yeah, we'll definitely have her in sooner rather than later. And speaking of mind renewal, I want to also just bring up the fact that you and Rhonda also went through Shannon and John's Biblical Foundations of Freedom.
Yes. Yeah, actually, we did probably about 6 months or so.
That's awesome.
And man, it is really life changing and stuff. Things that used to bother me and stuff. You just find yourself immediately just forgiving, and it changes your whole perspective. Just by realizing that to a certain extent, God's forgiving us is contingent on us forgiving others. And once we get that concept and stuff, and realize that we are in a spiritual war, and most people choose to ignore it and stuff, but it's still there.
Right. And that's, what you said was just completely out of the Bible. I mean, we are in a spiritual war, and then, it says, God will forgive you as you forgive others. I mean, right. And that's what I love about that Biblical Foundations of Freedom series, because it's not, some person's own, interpretation. I mean, it's straight scripture.
Right.
And so I guess I shouldn't be surprised that it had such an impact, because everybody I talk to that has had those classes, they're just like, mind change, life changing.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I was impressed by the testimony of the founder of that Art Matthias is his name, and he almost died. He ended up getting all kinds of allergies to food and everything, and finally his sister. I believe it was that said, "Why don't you just try forgiving people?" And he said, "Well, I basically have nothing else to lose." So as he was able to go through and forgive all the past hurts, even from his parents, his upbringing, people that had offended him, he ended up forgiving those, and then one by one, the food allergies, were taken away, and he was healed from it.
Yeah, that is such an amazing story. I love his testimony as well. So for those of you that have not gotten the book yet, it's called Biblical Foundations of Freedom. Nancy over at Crossroads does have it. She put it on the local authors section, even though he's from Alaska, but we have so many people in town now that are doing that class and reading that book that she said, we got to put it on the local author section. So I also have some available at the dance studio at the Well in the square as well, because I've just seen it change too many lives that I can't keep it a secret any longer. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. All right. So I know that you also, the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, because I know you've got a lot of tips for people. I mean, we are in the full bloom of spring. And everything is growing so fast and crazy.
Oh, yeah. That's why I had asked you, if it's possible to take phone calls. Yeah. I guess we're not set up for that here, but you can put it in the comments.
Right, and we've had some comments come in, so let me see what those are real quick. Let's see, there's 2 comments. Let's see what they are here. Maybe they're questions, or maybe they might just be comments. Let's see. All right, well, Lawrence Rainey says, good morning, and Louis Demeter, is that how you say his name?
Demeter, yeah.
Demeter?
Yeah.
The third. He said, good morning, Gary. So he's watching, and Doug James is watching too. So
Doug and Mo.
Yeah. So they're all watching, but no questions have come in yet, guys. So remember, if you have a cool question, go ahead, slap that up in the comment section on Facebook, and Gary will address it. I know that one person, when I said that you were coming in, they said, well, have them just talk about some basic maintenance stuff that everybody should be doing right now, especially if, they haven't had their mower serviced for a while. So,
yeah, a lot of people, years back, people were real conscientious about getting their oil changed, blade sharpened, and everything. Mm-hmm. Nowadays, it almost seems that until the belt breaks or it won't start, they won't even think about changing oil and stuff. Briggs & Stratton came out with a Chinese engine on their push mowers years back, and about maybe 5 years ago or so. And they were boasting that you never have to change the oil. Yeah. So that made people feel good about it. Well, see, I don't have to change the oil. They didn't do it for a long time anyway. But now they were kind of justified. If Briggs & Stratton says I don't have to do it, then I don't have to do it. But basically, it's always good to change the oil.
About how often-ish?
I was just going to say...
I know it depends on how much you use it.
The homeowner is going to use it about 40 or 50 hours per year.
Okay.
Whereas a commercial cutter will use it 40 or 50 hours per week. So they should be changing their oil weekly. But if the homeowner can do it at least once a year, and get the blade sharpened, it makes the machine work a whole lot better.
And it seems like it would make sense to do it right at the beginning of the spring season, right? Or
some people wait until the end of their the cutting season so that it's ready to go.
Okay. So it can sit like that over the winter and be okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's actually better for me.
Is it better?
It's better for me because, I need something to do during the off season. I do kerosene heater repair also. But the main thing is, if I can get people to bring in mowers to have them get the full service, in October, November, even into December.
Well, and it seems like that might be a good idea, just because if it's all gunked up, it's not going to going to be able to loosen it and get it fast. I mean, right? I mean, if it sits with something in it all over winter, it seems like it'd be a little bit harder, maybe, or more damage.
Yeah, and even these the push mowers, they've got these the plastic carburetors,
Ugh.
and they've had a problem with them ever since they came out. If that push mower sits for 2 to 3, 4 months, it has to be taken apart and cleaned, and then put back together. They're just susceptible, just because the little amount of fuel that's left in the bowl of the carburetor.
It would eat the plastic, right? Would it?
No, it lets air into that little bit of fuel, and then it evaporates, and then it turns to the varnish, and then it plugs up the little hole that's in there.
Okay. All right. So very important to get, I mean, we all get our cars, our oil changed on our cars, but guys, don't forget about the mowers, because, I know some people that it seems like they're constantly buying a new zero turn. I'm like, really? Like, why don't you just get it fixed? Like sometimes they're just, all right, throw it out, get another one.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. All right. Now I know that, the last guest I had on, and I was on the Go Show, and when I was doing your sponsor ad about Ridgetop Mower, and I said, have you ever been there? Do you know where it is? And they said, Ridgetop? And I said, no. So now I'm starting to call it Ridgetop Mower of Springfield.
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty good, because I did start out in Ridgetop, and it is kind of confusing. And then to add on to that, Ridgetop is not really listed, so it's in Greenbrier, So that threw another curveball in there. And then, when Yellow Pages was a thing, people were looking, for a Ridgetop mower and having a hard time and stuff. But now everything is just cell phones, and so.
So you're easy to find. Go ahead and tell them where you are.
Yeah, I'm kind of easy to find. I'm tucked in between Dean Oil, Baldwin's Barbecue, and Ace Hardware. It's right on Matthew Street, and that's right off of Central Avenue.
Yeah, so if you're at Ace, that's that little street right there in Matthews. You go down there. There's a Jeep place first on the left, and then you guys are right after the Jeep place.
Right.
Okay, and so tell them all what you can do over there.
Yeah. Check the comments. If anybody has any questions, whether it be about Samaritan's Purse, Biblical Foundations of Freedom, or lawnmower repair.
We did. We just had a question come in. It says, what is your best chainsaw experience? This is from Gary James. Do you know Gary James?
Yes.
All right. Well, he wants to know your best chainsaw experience. Is this an inside joke?
Yeah. No. Gary James he's actually a team lead out of Florida. Served with Samaritan's Purse on a couple of deployments with him.
Okay.
And there's been, so many, just about every time when I go on deployment with Samaritan's Purse, I just feel like I'm being used of God as his hands and feet. And, you just feel like you're right in the center of God's will, and people are, they're open to the gospel. Somebody said, if a hurricane or a tornado didn't come down the street, and you wouldn't be able to just walk up to these homeowners and say, hey, we're with Samaritan's Purse, and we'd like to share the gospel with you. And they're like, no, we're pretty good, but when these people lost everything, sometimes family members in a storm and stuff, and they see the devastation, and their whole yard is covered in trees and debris, and their house is damaged. But when they come in with a team and usually within a day, I mean, they turn it around. I mean, it gives the people more than hope, and they're just like weeping with joy that we showed up. But yeah, to Gary James's question, I guess pretty much all of them. I get the satisfaction that I've helped people. And you go there and that you're gonna end up giving or working and stuff, but you get blessed so much in return. And I asked the Lord, I said one time, I said, do I still get a reward if it's this much fun? And it seemed like he responded that he loves a cheerful giver.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and that is so true, guys, about, volunteering in general. If you're not volunteering out there, you do not know what those blessings feel like. And it's true. I mean, yes, you are definitely blessed in heaven, but, down here too, you do get so much, satisfaction out of being the hands and feet, that we're supposed to be. So was there a particular chainsaw experience that Gary was referring to, or was that just...
No, in general, I mean, and, that's not the only thing that I've done with Samaritan's Purse. We do what they call mud outs, like if you had either flood damage, from the ground in, or, if the roof had been damaged and you get rain, from the top down. So we'll go in there and take out sheetrock, ceilings, flooring, put tarps on where needed. Tyvek jobs where you put on a Tyvek suit, crawl underneath a house, pull out insulation and ductwork sometimes, from underneath the house. And then they do mold remediation using a shockwave, a chemical that's safe, but it's very effective also.
There's another comment. Actually, this is Lewis again. It says he's the best at his craft. He grew up. I guess Lewis grew up watching him work on small motors.
Yeah, up in New Jersey.
And he said, ask Gary to explain how he got from Kenilworth, New Jersey to where he is.
Yeah. Basically went from Kenilworth, moved down to Florida, lived there for 12 years, and now I'm up in Tennessee for like 23 years so far. And I really enjoyed the experience in Florida and here in Tennessee.
Well, I'll tell you what, we are very glad that you are calling Springfield your home, because you are just a blessing to our community. All right, so it's almost 7:30, so we want to tell people the phone number in case they want to call you about any of these things, right?
Yes, it's 615-855-0044.
One more time.
615-855-0044.
And your hours?
8 to 5, Monday through Friday, and then 8 till 5 on Saturday.
8 to 3 on Saturday?
No.
Oh, 8 to 5. You're not to 5?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
8 till 12.
Okay, I was going to say. I didn't know you were...
Edit that part out of there. It's 8 till 12 noon on Saturday.
Okay, 8 to 12 noon on Saturday. Okay, great. And then closed on Sunday for church.
Right.
All right.
And I'm not set up for debit or credit cards, so it's cash or check.
Cash or check, okay.
And, yep.
All right. And then also, if they just want to come and possibly get parts and ask you a DIY question, you can do that as well.
Yeah, and that seems like a dying industry, but I've been in those people's shoes more than I care to think about. But, if a person wants to fix their own machine, I'm there to answer questions. And
you got a lot of parts there.
I've got the parts. I probably have... I'm just guessing around 12 to 1,500 belts. I don't know that anybody has any more than that, belts that's around here in Robertson County.
That's a good point. So, so if you don't find your belt at somewhere else, call Gary, because he probably has it.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, it is exactly 7:30. We've been talking to Gary Rastelli from Ridgetop Mower of Springfield, and he services all types of small engine things, weed whackers.
No, not really.
No?
I've
Okay.
been referring those
Mostly,
out.
you're referring those out. Okay, so mostly mowers
Right.
and anything similar to that.
Yeah, lawnmowers, generators, pressure washers.
Oh, okay. Pressure washers. Oh, I need one of those. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming in. God bless you. God bless your business. And we appreciate all your support of the community and of WSGI because you are a sponsor for the Go Show.
Good deal.
All right. Thanks a lot. All right. As Gary is leaving and Nicole is coming in, we'll go ahead and talk about one of the sponsors of One Street Over, and that is Barry and Rebecca Richards of Exit Realty. And so let me tell you a little bit about them. When you have a real estate need, you don't have to call a Nashville company that doesn't know Robertson County. So Barry and Rebecca Richards have lived in Robertson County for almost 30 years, and they love helping their friends and their neighbors. So whether you're a first-time home buyer or someone ready to sell your home or your farm, Barry and Rebecca Richards can help. So you can see the latest listings and start your search today at sellwithbecky.com. Again, that's sellwithbecky.com. And that is Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty. All right, we're bringing in our second half guest. Hello, Nicole. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. All right.
for
So
having me.
we haven't had you on for like a year or something, probably.
It's been a year.
All right. So just some reminders. You want to get really close to the microphone, almost like about an inch away. There you go. Well, don't you look beautiful? I'm going to put the camera on her. There we go.
Hello.
Look at that. She looks like a model. All right. So you are officially, now how long has it been that you've owned Shalom now?
It's officially been a year and a half.
A year and a half.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. So how's that been?
It's been amazing. It's been such a blessing. It's been stressful.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
all
as
the
any
things,
small business.
But so wonderful.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Very cool. Excellent. And I know that I wanted to have you in because I know you do a lot of different things in the summer. I know in the other times of the year, you're full. You've got so many little kid classes and
Yes.
stuff. But what does the summer look like?
Well, this summer we have Tuesday and Thursday classes. So on June 3rd, our Tuesday classes, June 3rd and 17, we have creative movement for 3 to 4-year-olds, beginner ballet for 5 to 8-year-olds, flexibility and cardio for 8 and 12-year-olds, ballet for 8 and 12-year-olds, and lyrical for 8 and 12-year-olds. And then we have flexibility and cardio for 13 plus, ballet and lyrical improv.
Wow, that is great. So those are additional summer classes.
Yes.
Very good. Now, are any of those full or are they still all open?
They're still all open, yes, ma'am. But we have a good amount of signups, so it's exciting.
Very cool.
Yes. And then on Thursday nights, we have swing classes for adults that Miss Lee Marie teaches.
That was so much fun last year.
So much fun.
And I made some friends there that I still have as friends.
Yes, yeah.
So that was really neat.
It was a great class. Miss Lee Marie did an amazing job teaching them. She's a really talented swing teacher, and it's a great way to meet some new people, like you said. And I think a lot of people are scared because it is a partner dance. So they're like, what if I don't have a partner or my husband doesn't want to do it? But you can come on your own, and we switch partners. It's like a rotation sort of thing, which is really fun.
Yes, exactly. You don't need a partner. So swing dance on Thursday nights. All right. Well, and then that is going to start this Thursday,
Yes.
7 o'clock or 8 o'clock?
Yes, 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
7 to 8 p.m.
Okay. And is that on the regular the first floor as you go in?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the price of that?
It's $25 per person.
Okay. 25 per person.
And all of our classes range from $15 to $25. So it's 15 minutes for a 30-minute class, 20 for 45, and then 25 for an hour.
Okay. So the swing class is an hour class.
Yes.
All right.
Yep. And then we have Thursday classes. And then we also have Princess Camp,
Ooh.
which is super
I
fun.
bet you that's popular.
So popular. So that starts next week. So if you know any kids that are 4 to 10 years old, invite them to Princess Camp. It's from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So it's a great time, a chunk of time to get some things done. And we do arts and crafts. We paint jewelry boxes. We paint picture frames. They come in their princess costumes, and we learn some ballet and jazz and do lots of arts and crafts.
There we go. Putting the flyer up if you guys can see that. I will also repost this on my Facebook page. So Princess Camp, that starts soon. Oh, okay.
Yes,
Are there
next
two
week.
different ones?
Yes, there's one in June and another in July.
Okay, so June 9 to 11 and then July 7 to 9. And those are 3-day classes?
Yes, 3-day classes.
Okay, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. You're right. They can like get all of their remodeling and
Yeah,
everything done
exactly.
there.
All
whatever
the
they-
chores.
So Shalom is located at 706 South Main Street.
Yes,
In
ma'am.
Springfield. So right there in the square, easy to find.
Yes.
And you guys have been doing dance for quite a while now there, huh?
Yes, ma'am. This will be year 11 of Shalom Movement.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah.
And so when you do the kid classes in the normal year, how many students do you have in a year? Do you know?
In each class we have, or like
Well, either one. Yeah, both.
either one. Okay. Well, we have about like 5 to 10 students in each class. And then total, we have 170 students currently.
Oh, okay. Wow, that is very nice. And I'm sure you have some like little sisters now coming in of the.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Getting a lot of younger kids.
And did you start dancing there yourself?
I did. Yes. So it started off as Soul Purpose, and it was owned by Miss Sarah Kane, and I took ballet, tap, and jazz with her. And then when I was 13, 12, 13, Soul Purpose closed, and then Miss Hope came in and opened Shalom Movement. And then I started dancing with her. So I took ballet, jazz, tap, contemporary, modern, point, started competing, all of the fun things. And then I danced with her until I graduated high school. And then I went to Austin P and got my Bachelor of Fine Arts degree in dance.
Nice.
And then while I was doing that, I was teaching at Shalom, and now I own it. So
That is so awesome.
yeah, my entire life has been the studio.
Wow. So did you really think that, how old are you?
I'm 23.
Did you really think at 23 you would be owning your own dance?
No, not at all.
Was that a God thing?
Oh, fully a God thing, yes. So I always wanted to own Shalom, but I always kind of thought it was just sort of a dream. But I knew I wanted to own a studio, but I was like, not until I'm 30. And then, God presented me this opportunity. I was fresh out of college, like just over the summer, really.
Wow.
And yeah, God presented me this opportunity, and I was like, I'm 22 years old. I don't really know if I can run a whole business just yet. So it was very scary, and I prayed so much about it, but God just led me there, and I was like, okay, I have to be obedient and trust in Him. So.
And that's so funny because it actually reminds me of a conversation that my sister and I were having yesterday because she was listening, I think it's to Johnny Enlow, and he was just talking about how, we pray sometimes these little prayers that, and God's like, hello, he created the universe, he could do,
He could do anything.
Right. And he loves to do big things. And sometimes we are little brains, because his ways are not our ways.
Right.
And so I was actually on the way to the studio this morning. I was praying like that. I'm like, okay, Lord, I've been praying like that, rent gets, handled with my studio and different things. I said, but Lord, blow the roof off of it. Like, what do you want to do? Whatever you want to do. If you want to have just like family nights all the time there, like free family nights, for like homeschool families or whatever, like whatever you want to do, Lord, I'm just like, take it.
Yes.
So I'm officially saying that on air too, because I know y'all going to want to wait and see, because God is now the official foreman on that project because there's just so many different things that we could do there.
Right.
And I want it to be what God wants there and as big as God wants it to be.
Yes,
So,
absolutely. Absolutely. It's actually something that we've been talking about at my church and temple is to expect great things from God. Yeah.
you
so
guys have been
that's
talking about that right now too?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
Expect great things from God. Yeah.
Excellent. Do you have any particular scriptures that you guys are studying with that? Because I bet you there are. We can post those in our
definitely.
Facebook
Yeah,
page
for
later.
sure.
So I know it's hard to just like think of them right away. But I just, whenever like I said, my sister and I were talking about yesterday, and then now you're talking about, and then you said, oh yeah, my church is talking about it too. It's like, those aren't coincidences, guys.
Right.
God oftentimes just will put out the same message so that when you have to keep hearing it, like me, I need to hear things several times before they stick. That's when I also know like confirmation. Okay, Lord, I'm getting it, expect big, great things. So we are expecting big, great things.
And letting Him work through you, because I'm like, I'm 22, 23. I'm like, I can't own a business right now, but with God's strength and with God's guidance, and He puts all of the people together. My teachers have really stepped up and has been such a blessing and has helped me tremendously through this whole process of everything. And He just puts everyone into place and all the things into place. And yeah, it works out. it works out.
Awesome. Very cool. So I wanted to look one more time because I know that I start teaching this Thursday, but it's just 3 Thursdays in June, right? And then 3 in July. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Do we have those? Okay. So for June, for the swing classes, it's June 5th, 12th, and 19th. And then for July, it's July 10, 17, and 24. Okay. All right. Very good. And then, so they can pay, is it best to pay online or just pay that day when they come? Or
Yes, it is best to pay online. So if you go to our website, shalommovementstudio.com, and go under the shop tab in the top right corner, and you'll scroll through all the classes, and that's how you sign up for each of the summer classes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so, and I know that that's always a good way to do it because then when you arrive, you don't have to worry about,
Yeah, trying to deal with people paying at the front desk, which isn't a problem if you want to come in the door. That's totally welcome as well. But it also kind of helps us mentally prepare of like how many students are we going to have? Like what are we working with? So.
And then the classes don't get held back either. Because like what happens if there was a security breach on your credit card or something, and you're trying to pay with the credit card and all of a sudden it says declined.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you what happened a couple of days ago. We had a security breach on our credit card and that happened. And I'm really glad that Citibank, thank you, Citibank, declined a charge because it was a fraudulent, our number was taken off Facebook.
Oh my goodness.
And so, yeah. So yesterday we got a new card number. But, those things are happening left and right, guys. So, pay early online so that when you get there, you don't have to
hassle
scramble.
with it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and don't be giving everybody your credit card that doesn't need it. Anyway, just a little public service announcement. All right, so you got stuff going on, kiddo things, princess
Camp.
Princess camp. What about, do you personally do private lessons?
Yeah, we do offer private lessons. So you just have to reach out to us at shalom.movement.staff@gmail.com and just request like, hey, I want to take some private lessons and I want this style of dance. Maybe you want to take ballet or lyrical, and then we can set you up with a teacher based on what style you want to take.
And do you do that for adults and children?
Yes, we do.
Okay. What now, I know you're the owner and the administrator, but do you also personally do private lessons?
I do, yes, yeah.
People want them?
Mm-hmm. So I do still teach. I teach a lot of classes still, actually, yeah.
Oh, okay,
So
awesome. What is your favorite group class to teach?
my favorite group class. I had a great group of homeschoolers last year. I taught a homeschool class from like 2 to 3 p.m.
Okay.
We did ballet jazz, and they were just so wonderful, so respectful.
And what age were they?
And they were like 8 to 10-year-olds.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Very nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Great group of kids. So yeah, I think I like the sort of like 8 to 10, 8 to 12 age group. Yeah, because they still have so much to learn.
Yeah.
But they're all so like hungry and ready to learn something new,
Exciting. Now, does your studio also like have some competitions that they go to as well?
Yes, we do competitions. So we have a company team, and basically so you audition to be a part of our company team. And then we give them a bunch of different performance opportunities. So yeah, they get to compete. We do 2 competitions a year, and then we are a part of the Christmas parade. We do perform at elementary schools like Bransford Elementary School. So yeah, different.
Ah, very nice. Now, do you guys does anybody there teach adult tap?
We do not have an adult tap class yet. Not yet. I feel like you and there's like 1 or 2 other women that have been asking about it.
What about clogging for adults?
We don't really have a lot of adult things in general.
What about kids clogging?
Yes, we do have kids clogging.
Okay. All right.
Yes. And we have a great clogging teacher. Her name's Abby Jackson. Super talented.
And what age is that clogging class?
That clogging class is intermediate, so it's about like 12 to 13-year-olds or 10 to 13-year-olds. Yeah.
Okay. So no beginning clogging right now?
Not right now, just because we did try to have a beginner clogging class open last semester, and we got like no signups for it.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. So if you want to see classes, you're always welcome to just stop by and give some comments, right? Or ask.
Yes, absolutely.
Send an email.
Yes, all the things.
Okay,
You can email us at shalom.movement.staff@gmail.com, or you can call us at 615-714-7750.
All right, give that phone number one more time.
615-714-7750.
Great. And do you have any particular story from your childhood regarding dance? Like one of your favorite childhood memories of being either in a dance class or on a dance team, or the way that it made you feel, or maybe it was a sad time in your life and that like helped you get through it, or anything like that?
Anything like that. There's so many. I would just say just being at Shalom in general is such an amazing, it was just so great for me growing up. Hope really did an amazing job of cultivating a very encouraging atmosphere that you don't really see in a lot of other studios. Like, it's so just non-toxic. Like, we just really encourage one another, and very nurturing, and just very low tolerance for bullying and that sort of thing. So just I had
Not cliquish at all there.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
'Cause some studios can be very cliquish.
Yes, definitely.
Kids and adults.
But yeah, I just think I got along with all of my teammates, and it was just, all of it was just so fun, and just had such amazing teachers. And yeah, but that's why I didn't want to change the name of Shalom, because I love everything that it represents. And so I just wanted to continue on what she had built,
And I'm glad you also gave me some context for, when we had that National Day of Prayer, that, and did you hear that Judah did the shofar again? So that was great. I think we're gonna be having our next. Yeah, by the way, I should mention that right now is our National Day of Prayer was, of course, that's always the first Thursday of May, but now the state of Tennessee also does a Pray for TN event, and that is the last week of every July. And so that's coming up. So the last Friday of July will be our Pray for TN event. I'll be contacting Judah again, our favorite shofar guy. And so it'll be 11:30 a.m. on the courthouse steps, just like last year. Last year we had 300 people, and they wrapped all the way around the courthouse holding hands and singing. It was just amazing. When I went in to meet with County Mayor Billy Vogel, he said, "Well, why don't we try to get 2 circles around this year?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that'll be 600 people." I don't know if we could do that, but I'm not gonna put it past God if He wants to do that.
Things.
That's right. Expect maybe we'll have 900. I don't know if you get the connection, Nicole, but did you see this? We had. I submitted an article to the Robertson County Connection for the National Day of Prayer, and they gave us that whole page. Look at that. And
wow.
And Judah's even on there. You might want to take this back in case you run into Hope, because I don't know if she got that picture. But we had a lot of kids involved with the National Day of Prayer. There was probably over 30 kids, actually, if you count the choir from South Haven who came. And then also we had about a dozen homeschoolers that came and read Bible verses because, the regular kids were already in school at that time, but the homeschoolers were able to come. And I know that we also got some homeschool people from your friend list as well. So, but it was super great. And we had comments online, actually, parents saying, "Let me know next time because I want to get my kids involved with that too." So it's something really exciting we're doing in the square. So y'all can mark your calendars for that Friday. And I don't have that date. I know it's in the last line of the thing here. So let me get that date for you. So you can mark your calendars because we would love to have a huge turnout for that. And again, it's 11:30, the last Friday of July, and that is July 25th. So you can be part of the Pray for TN gathering. And that's something that is happening in every single county in the state of Tennessee. And one thing that came out of that last year is we had some people that said, well, let's continue to pray every month. So every first Saturday at 11:30 a.m., we have had people ever since that first one last July. They've met over at Crossroads Christian Bookstore, and they have prayed every month. So we're going to continue that. And we also want to invite anybody else who wants to do that. It's just a half-hour thing, 11:30 to 12. Sometimes we're out on the courthouse, but sometimes we're in Crossroads because of the weather and stuff. So, but anyways, that's just a little side note there. So any other stories that popped into your head about dance, or maybe the benefits of dance? I know that there are a lot of benefits.
So many benefits of dance. I think it's a great way to socialize. I think it's a great way for kids to stay active. Our creative movement classes, especially for like toddlers, like 3 to 4 year olds, it's a great way for them to learn how to follow directions, how to move their bodies, like, weight distribution, balance, coordination, that sort of thing. And it's a fun way to do it as well, which is incorporated in our Princess Camp.
And that's so important to do that early on in
Yes.
life. It really will help your body for the rest of your life, right? Now, when is that kids movement class?
It is on Tuesdays from 2 to 2:30 for 3 to 4-year-olds, or Thursdays from 4 to 4:30.
Okay, and that's going on right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yeah. I
Today,
want you,
actually.
Oh, okay. Because I know that the library does a little movement class one day a week. I want to say it's like Mondays at 10:30. And Rose has been saying she wishes that there was more of those out there. So I'm glad to know I will tell Rose that you guys are doing those, because what a great way. Because, dance is just so positive for your body, for your mind, just everything. And
For your confidence too, you're constantly accomplishing something, learning something new, and it's fun as well. So
and making connections in your brain. And even as we age, it's so important to be doing that, because it actually does stave off Alzheimer's if you are having to make those connections. And, in my line dance class, I will do a lot of different line dances now, because, we've been doing it for a year. So, some of my students know like
something
30
new. Yeah.
but they have like 30 different dances that they know. And so like sometimes what I'll do is I'll just play like one, wall of each one. And like I had a student yesterday, a newer student, just asked, and she said, well, how come you only play a little snippet? And I said, well, because I asked the students, would you rather, do like 20 and just do like one little part of it? Or do you want to do, like 5 dances and do the whole thing? And they all said the same thing. They would put in as many as you can. We'll just do short, but it's really good for your brain to have to switch, because a lot of those line dances are very similar. And so you have to remember like, oh no, that's 4 cha-chas and then, a half turn and a quarter turn. The other one's 2 cha-chas and a half turn and a quarter turn, So it's good to just challenge.
It's challenging. Yeah.
Yeah, so awesome. Well, that's so exciting. We only have about 5 minutes left to have a couple other announcements to do. So is there anything else that you want to tell the universe before you leave?
Oh goodness, the universe. I don't know. I think Shalom is really special. I think the way that our atmosphere is like, just being so encouraging and uplifting to our students, being a Christian-based studio, so only allowing certain types of music to be played in our classes and songs that we dance to and that sort of thing. It's something that's very rare that you don't really see in a lot of studios. And yeah, just that we have some amazing summer classes coming up, Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's very flexible. You're not having to commit to a whole month. It's just pay by class as you're able to come, because I know a lot of families are traveling this summer.
Good point. Good point.
And then Princess Camp is such an awesome opportunity. It's just, the summer classes are the time to like dip your toe into dance and kind of like get a feel for our studio. And then if you enjoy it, then you can come back in the fall and then actually do enrollment for a month or whatever.
Oh, that's an excellent point, guys. Yeah, and if you have kids that, maybe they're afraid or something to start it, and that's normal.
Yeah.
I'm sure kids' first day, they're like, but just don't, especially if they're like, I don't want to go. We'll just say, let's just try it one day.
Try it just for one day. Exactly. Yeah.
Because oftentimes when they try it, they get bit by the bug and they realize like, oh my gosh, this is fabulous.
fun.
Yeah. And like she said, it's so good for their confidence. I know a lot of adults that come to me and they're like, I've never taken a dance class in my life. And I regret that so much. My mom was going to, make me, and I threw a fit and I wish I hadn't, and so you got to sometimes really take your kids and just be like, let's just go on, let's just go and sit, or maybe we'll just go and watch, just get them through the door. Don't let them just stay outside.
Right. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Very good. Well, thank you so much, Nicole, for coming in.
For having me.
I will see you on Thursday at 7:00 for the swing dance class.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So again, you don't need a partner for that. And is it like 12 and above, or what's the age?
I would say like 13 and above.
13
12 and above is fine too.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So you
All
can
right.
bring your kids and do a little dance with them as well.
Great family activity to have.
Yes, definitely.
All right. Well, thanks so much for coming in. I appreciate it.
having me.
See you soon. All right, guys, we just have a few minutes left. And so I'm just going to mention a couple other things here, guys. Sunday Morning Country is coming to the Grand Ole Opry. And as you guys know, this happens every Sunday after the CMA Awards. And actually tomorrow we're having the Tennessee River Boys, a couple of them coming in to talk about Sunday Morning Country. So I'm super excited because they are first-time guests at WSGI. And so they're going to be talking to you about it. So, but if you don't know, guys, you want to get your tickets early because you will save $50. At the door, these tickets are $85 because, as you know, Grand Ole Opry is not a cheap place to go, but it's a very quality place. And at the door, the tickets are $85. However, if you can get a hold of somebody that is in the show, the tickets are only $35. Matter of fact, I do have a couple left. I don't have to sell them, but I ordered them because I do know a lot of people that want to go. So you can reach out to me if you want to get tickets because I can still get some more at the rehearsals this week. Stephen and I are going to be singing at it, so we can still get some more tickets this week at the rehearsals. So again, it's Sunday Morning Country. Don't be confused by the name. It is not on a Sunday morning. It is on June 8th at 4 p.m. Okay, there's a warm-up show at 3:30, but then the actual show itself starts at 4 p.m. It goes till about 6-ish, I believe. We were there last year, and we loved it because it was, amazing gospel music with fabulous artists. And matter of fact, Cutter and Cash were there last year, and they're going to be back this year, so super excited about Cutter and Cash. But, they also had a real cool patriotic portion, which was just so uplifting. And then they did have some speaking as well. And it was just such a wonderful event. I can't speak highly enough of Sunday Morning Country. And so again, it's going to be June 8th, 4 p.m. at the Grand Ole Opry. That is the Sunday after the CMAs. And tomorrow you get to meet a couple of the performers because the Tennessee River Boys two of them are coming in. So we hope that you will tune in for that as well. So guys, remember, I do post a lot of events on my Facebook page, and my Facebook is just a white circle that says rule number 1 in the middle, and then it says put God at the center of everything, because that is something that I have to completely always remind myself of. And so that's how you can find me on Facebook. I usually share a lot of event stuff, especially Tuesday nights, because on Wednesday when I have the Go Show, I refer back to a lot of those events. And there are a ton of things going on in Robertson County, guys. You just cannot believe it. And also what I wanted to mention, that's right, VBS. Some of the VBSs have officially started. And if you go to the county, the Harvest Association's, Harvest Baptist Association page for Robertson County, they have on the very front page of their little booklet that just came out a whole bunch of vacation Bible schools listed. I'm looking at this page. There's probably about 30 on here. Bethel, Bethlehem, Cedar Hill Baptist, Center Point. The list just goes on. I know Greenbrier is starting as well. There's a ton of them on here. So go ahead and try to get your kids signed up in as many VBSs as you can. It's so awesome. And the churches are just doing an amazing job with that. And you won't regret that. I still remember going to VBS when I was a kid. There was one in our neighborhood. And it's just something you won't forget. And, we had to memorize Bible verses, which was awesome. Again, you just something you want to look into. So VBSs have already started, but there's some going all throughout the summer. So make sure you get kids signed up for those. And I know that different churches offer a lot of different types of things. Like, some VBSs are for certain ages. Like, okay, this one's just for, 5th through 7th, or, there's different things going on. So make sure you call the churches or look at their Facebook sites. And also I want to encourage the churches to post the VBS stuff information as soon as possible on your Facebook page, so that people can find that as well on the front page of your websites. I know it's hard to update all that stuff, guys, but people are looking there oftentimes. So anyways, it is 8:00, which means I've got to sign off. U-Turn Laverne will be back tomorrow. I'm so glad that you joined me today on One Street Over, and you will hear from Laverne tomorrow. And then tomorrow I will be here at 8:00 with the Go Show. All right, guys, you've been listening to 1100 WSGI. Make it a great day.
One street over there's life I could know. One beyond the wildest